Hi, and it's a beautiful sunny day out here in Toronto. The last of the summer days, but yesterday was actually like a complete summer day because it was the first week of fall, and it was beautiful. Anyways, this is really awkward for me to say, and may sound like a lie, and is not presentable in a court of law. All right, for I could not actually prove this whole thing. But anyways, I somehow through a source, I've come to know my son wanted a script for this younger female friend of East Indian, but North Indian origin, and Canadian from Winnipeg. And she, the first time I said maybe you should just I said, lovely, girlfriend, you're too young to settle down, so you should just kind of date and that sort of thing. And he was very upset, completely out of whack with my mommy. And mommy shed tears and tears secretly. And I shared a song and dance with you about how a boy's psychology is different and I cannot relate to it. See, when we were growing up, we thought this was the best statement. Sow your wild oats and everything. But my mom and my male friends used to find this cute, or when I said it. But my son, he's my son. He's 30 years younger than me. I was pregnant when I was 29, graduate chemical engineering school. My husband went through a PhD, and then I went through 4 to 5 years of schooling, and then had him. So the time catches up. So 30, he came when I was 30. So we're 30 years apart. So he has different values in a way, growing up in Canada, born and brought up in Canada. And he thinks that born and brought up in Canada, and he thinks that, this is so he thought, so I should go out and have sex with a number of women. What's that kind of thought? He was also joking, but different perspectives, you see, we thought, but I'm a woman. Skill lover is quite who's going to please me is quite the thing. But he's a man, all right, young man. And he, could be too much pressure on him. I mean, to perform. So, the different perspectives, all right. So he was very upset, and then we should watch that video of mine. It's very nice lyrics. More about a small boy, young boy, 5-year-old, 6-year-old. So you like that? I mean, this is an older gentleman, early 20s, or he left to do his masters during his early 20s, but came during the summer and winter break. And then so he sort of tells me, and then how does he tell me that things are just going as friends? We go to Denver, right? He meets me, sends me a lovely Mother's Day bouquet, and joins us in Denver. And once the day he comes, we lands, we take him to a place called Ike's, where I had my for first sandwich at Denver when I landed there 3 days before, or 3 or 4 days before. And he there were two options, all right, dating and just friends, and he chose just friends. This is like a movie scenario, all right. My son tells me this way, that is, but I never probed after, right. I'm a different kind of a mom in some ways, and I miss my own mom who took certain liberties with the with us. All right, maybe she was a widow. All right, but I have a difficult husband in a way who is wonderful but difficult. All right, he doesn't see. I'm hosting this whole gathering for Truth and Reconciliation Day tomorrow, and I tell him I'm going to invite the neighborhood kids and others, the older group, the old timers, and he's just not interested in knowing anymore. Whatever you do, I don't want to know, that sort of a thing. There's no, so I have to miss my mother, right? I mean, she was dying. It was good. Poor thing. She was so suffering so much. But what she meant to me, I have to miss. Maybe that's why my husband's become like that. Yeah. Where's the tissue? I have to get the tissue. Mm. All right. So this is for his friend, friend quotes, friend who is whose name is Shivani. She's North Indian, but don't quote me on this, for I don't actually know, because he's not, strange are the ways of young men, of their working men. He's not actually called me and asked me. Okay, but this is for her. It's for a CBC series. The heroine is a fashion television host, fashion and television. All right, a hyphen television host. Heroine. Hello everyone. Did you catch the Paul Thomas Anderson's new thriller? One battle after another. It's a sizzler of a thriller. The black horror heroine, who is really attractive, with a pair of bra shapers that would knock any man out until he moved on to the next scene. Her reason for a panty: wears a pair of jeans to die for, as jeans go, and which give her bum their own pump. Could it be Levi's or Calvin Klein or Old Navy? The jeans. Nothing to beat any of these three. But Levi's was it. They even had a button fly. All right. And, fitting in my. I didn't have a tie in that. Fitting in my tummy in the butterfly. All right. That was her. Her daughter in the movie plays her entire role. A long one in the prettiest blue skirt for an action movie. All blue, wispy frilly swish. And the young lady is an ace shot. Cool precision. The men and I must say, I had a tough time choosing between the loving but tough guy hero Leonardo DiCaprio, who has the sexiest bathrobe. Notice he does bathrobes like nobody else, for did he come in once upon a time in Hollywood, the Quentin Tarantino movie, in a bathrobe? All right, to you heroines, beats deeds any day to get the deed done. The love deed. Okay, bathrobes open at the front, and no time wasted there fumbling for the button fly. Gee. But did I mention that of the two, you would choose Sean Penn, who has a hard on the size of a sizey iron rod? And I swear it lasted a good 10 minutes in the movie. And I swear, and do you think, Mr. Penn, next time you're in town, you could call me and make it good for me? My incentive for you, I make dinner. Oops, fashion here. A sexy cap and a sexy US Army uniform, but I always prefer the Canadian version of a soldier's uniform. Moving on to television. I ask you to bet your money on the CBC series Northern Rescue. William Baldwin makes your heartbeat go faster. His voice could have me lose my head at work. Not good. Stay focused on the work at hand. The rest of the star cast is what one wants to get engrossed in a TV show. The cameraman, directed by the director, has captured the beautiful Canadian landscape to perfection. All right, so this was the heroine in the TV show. For the heroine in the TV show, the heroine, aka fashion and TV host, wraps up her telecast and high fives the cameraman and heads home shopping for groceries at a nearby store. She has a big smile for the guy at the aisles, baking and spices. She says to herself, "Oh, presence choice makes garam masala, and my life is going to have garam stuff. For garam masala has to have garam kahanis. Hot stuff for hot spice has to have hot stories." She picks up one mug cake mix and says, "Mugs for my jugs." Yeah, yeah, the heroine. She smiles at the young lady at the cash counter and says, "I'm planning a party for myself. I'm making chole chickpeas curry and tortillas to go along with them, and along with it, and some cucumber raita and a cake with icing because I want to have my cake and the icing too." The lady says, "Sex and marriage and work are big on my list too." The heroine goes home, has a small cup of coffee, and eats some Ritz crackers, and makes dinner and sings to herself. "I love to be young, for Jawani mein hai diwani ki mehboob. I love to be sexy, for shola jaisa ladki mein hai bhola pyar. I like to move it. I like to move it. Come karo heroine." Hears her father say. Cheekily she sings to herself, "Mom, come hai Ram ke puja," and plays Ariana Grande's famous number from Wicked. To those of you, well, you'll have to ask your friend for a translation. An East Indian, North Indian friend, because some Kannada speaking people do not know a word of Hindi. All right. Signing off, Gayatri B. Sitaram for a CBC series, please. All right. Hollywood can't get. Thanking you. Have a fun afternoon.